Hello and welcome to Cooking the Books with Heather. Today we are going to be making something I've been wanting to make for quite a while, but haven't haven't done it yet. Hadn't been in the right frame of mind, haven't tried it yet. But today we're going to be working from the first Outlander kitchen cookbook, Teresa Carle-Sanders cookbook, and we're going to be making Atholl Brose for the Bonnie Prince. This seems to be Scotland's answer to Irish cream, and it, of course, includes oatmeal, or porridge, as they would say. But it's going to take us a while, so we're going to get it started today, and then we'll finish it up tomorrow, and then we'll try it after that. So I have measured out some rolled oats. You could also use steel cut oats, but what I had that I wanted to use up was rolled oats. I might have some steel cut oats somewhere. I don't know, but this will be fine. And some plain cold water. And I'm just going to combine them and let it sit overnight. So I am going to cover this just because we do occasionally still, even though it is December now, we do still occasionally have some fruit flies flying around in here. Doing my best to get rid of them, but pretty soon they'll be gone, right? Because it gets cold. Anyway, we're going to let this sit overnight. I assume at room temperature. She doesn't say to put it in the refrigerator, so I'm just going to leave it out. Cover it, and we'll see you tomorrow. My oatmeal has been soaking, I don't know, for about a day. And now I've got a strainer lined with, for me, I've got a double layer of cheesecloth. She says cheesecloth or muslin, whatever. And we're going to just basically pour everything in here. We're going to strain it. We basically made kind of like an overnight oatmeal with just water, but a lot of water, so it's a little more than you would normally put. There we go. But what we've really made is oat milk. So I'm pretty sure if you don't want to do this step, you could probably just choose some unsweetened oat milk and go from there. But at this point, we need to let this strain. And at the end, we'll squeeze it out, but I'm just trying to get as much as I can to go through first. Well, next, she says to squeeze. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. With my very clean hands, squeeze as much liquid as I can out of here. All right, I think that's good enough. I have more than we need in here, so it's made plenty. I'm going to wash my hands again and clean this up and be right back with the rest. All right, so I have all my ingredients not measured out. I'm going to do that while we film here. So we have the oat milk. And we only need some of this. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest, but now I'm meant to be combining this in a pitcher, but I've decided I'm going to put it in this blender bottle because it only makes like 2.5 cups-ish. So I'm not too concerned. I spilled a little. I'm not too concerned about the prettiness of it. And this will go in my refrigerator much easier than a pitcher that only has a little bit left in it. A little bit of liquid in it. So we put our oat milk in here. And then we're going to add whiskey. So we're supposed to use blended scotch. She says to use basically a mid-priced. This is what we had. It's probably a little better than we need, but a blended scotch whiskey. There we go. There's that. Let me go ahead and cap this before I knock it off. There we go. And then we add honey. This is the only sweetener that goes in here. And it's not a ton, so it doesn't seem like it would be super sweet. There we go. My very clean hands. There we go. So we're supposed to gently whisk this in, but it's a blender bottle, so it's got a whisk in there, and I'm just gonna shake it up kind of gently with that until it all gets blended. I think we're trying not to make it like bubbly. Wash my hand. Let me get that oat milk. It's not foaming up too bad. There's no cream in it yet, so I assume that's one reason. That's pretty good. Pretty well blended. You can see there's no honey on the sides where I wiped it, so that's good. And now we just add some cream. Now she says to use light cream. I don't keep light cream. I keep heavy cream. And I don't think it really matters all that much. The light cream and heavy cream, what is different is the fat content. You could probably use half and half. If you keep that on hand, it will be similar to light cream. But it'll just be a little extra fatty for me because I've got heavy cream. And there we go. And then again, we're just going to stir this a little bit. And we're not going to taste this right now because she says the flavor improves on the second or third day. So we'll try it. We'll tell you what we think, show you what it looks like in a couple days. See you then. On this episode of Cooking the Books with Heather, you watched me make Atholl Brose for the Bonnie Prince, I think is the whole name. I'm not going to turn the page and look at it. But anyway, which is Scotland's answer to Irish cream to me. That's what it feels like to me. And I do love Irish cream. This has been sitting for 2 full days in the refrigerator. And I do want to say that having it in the blender bottle has been great. We did taste it the first day. We ended up making like another sort of half batch. And we tasted it the first day because we had leftover oat milk. And it was just tasted a lot like scotch. And we tasted it we tasted it the first day we made it. We tasted it a day later and it had already mellowed out a little bit. So now I'm going to taste it on this day. But the homemade oat milk doesn't have any sort of stabilizers or anything that keeps the little bits of oats, I suppose, from separating from the rest of it. So there was a little bit of sediment at the bottom. So I've just been sort of using the blender bottle to shake that up before I pour it. And that has worked out pretty well. So I think this was a good choice. And I didn't care if it was pretty or not. So, So here we go. I found a nice, pretty round ice cube, and we're going to taste it. It tastes pretty much like it did last night. Not much mellower. But it tastes a lot like Irish cream, but not quite as sweet. So if you don't like really sweet Irish cream, this might be better for you. I would say that it is better if you are lactose intolerant because it uses oat milk, but it also uses cream. So, that's not the case. But yeah, I am going to enjoy having this. It will last in the refrigerator. She says up to a month. There's a lot of scotch in there. I think it would probably last longer than that, but you can decide whether it's still good to you for your time frames. I don't want to steer anybody wrong and get anybody sick, but I don't think we're going to have a hard time drinking this before the month is up anyway. So we like Irish cream. I like this kind of thing. So I'm going to go enjoy my drink. And if you've enjoyed watching me make this, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this with your friends, and come back and watch me make something else next week.